Hallelujah, Jesus. Hallelujah, Jesus. Hallelujah, Jesus. Hallelujah, Jesus. Glory to God. I feel a little more worship may be necessary tonight. Hallelujah, Jesus. Yandere da bashata. Hibo shandere da bahaya. Hibo shandere da bosaya. We worship you in this place. I dare you to give him your raw worship. Not singing behind the praise God. Not singing behind mine. Say, God, I worship you. I worship you. I open up my mouth. I render a worship because you are worthy. How dare I sit here with my mouth closed? You've been too good. You've been too good. for your word, God. Fill us up. Fill us up, God. 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 Till we overflow. In Jesus' name we pray. Yes and amen. Keep playing that video. Keep playing that. God had given me a word. And sometimes when God speaks, I'm like, now God, is this a sermon or is this just a prophetic release? Yeah, mama. Ibo shandi de basi. Yama shandi de basi. Ira da basa. It's important that God fills us up, because if we're filled with anything else other than Him, when He speaks, we cannot hear. So if God is speaking to us and promising us and we cannot hear Him, it's as if He did not say it. Because we cannot hold on to what we do not hear. A lot of people say, well, I ain't got time for all that holy roly stuff. I'm going to do me. When he speaks, you will not hear. Because you're too full with other stuff. When He reveals Himself, you will not see. Because you're too filled with other stuff. God told me this week that we have to remember what He said. We have to remember what He said. And I got all excited until He reminded me that when He's speaking, half the time we don't hear. So we can't remember because we can't hear. Train us, God. The one thing about love, when you say you love something or someone, it shows up in your actions. A lot of us say we love God, but our actions don't reflect it. Sometimes we don't have to say we love someone or something. Our actions will show. If we love to shop, you always see us in the stores. If we love to travel, you always hear us saying we're going here, we're going there. When we love our children, we may not tell them every day, but our actions show, I love you. How many of us can say we really love them? I was before the Lord this week and He said, I want more of you. God took me to Mark chapter 16. Remember what He said. Remember what He said. Thank you. And I thought about, I said, well, God, because this is what I'm speaking of is when God actually gives you a promise. when he actually gives you a declaration. This is not a Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego situation. You know, they were in the fiery furnace. They were like, you know, we're not getting ready to bow down to any other God but the God that we serve. God did not tell them in advance that he was going to deliver them. So this is not a nevertheless. I'm not talking about your nevertheless. I'm talking about when God has spoken. What has God said to you? Do you believe him? Can you really honestly say you believe God? God, help our unbelief. Help our unbelief. He said, remember what he said. See, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They said, we know that he's able to deliver us. So even if he doesn't, it's our. That's not the situation I'm talking about. I'm talking about what he's already spoken. If he said he was going to deliver your seed, do you believe? If he said he was going to make you the head and not the tail, do you believe? Or are you just going off of what somebody else said? Or are you just going off of what the preacher said on TV or the song said on the radio? We got to get to know God for ourselves in this hour. We got to get to God. We got to know God for ourselves because God wants to do miracles, signs, and wonders. And we cannot grab those things if we don't believe. The worst thing is to want to give your child a blessing and they keep messing up and you can't give it to them. Parents know how I feel. You give them something or you get ready to prepare something for them and then they get to acting up and you can't give it to them. It grieves you more than them. And I would have to say, God just might be grieved with us right now. Because we don't believe. We have to remember what he said. Let's go on Mark 16. I don't know if you all ever felt like this where you feel like you're on the verge of something, but it's like it's some type of barrier between you and that blessing. It's like, what is it? What is it? What is it? It's our unbelief. It's like I know something good getting ready to happen. I feel it. I feel it, but it's not happening. What's wrong? What's wrong? We got to position ourselves. Position ourselves. Mark 16, it says, now when the Sabbath was past, Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of James and Salome, bought spices that they might come and anoint him. Very early in the morning on the first day of the week, they came to the tomb when the sun had risen. Now keep in mind, we all have a plan in our life. We all create a plan. We have plan A, we have plan B, and we have plan C. But what did God say? Jesus told them that he would rise. So why were they there? Because they didn't believe. They came to the tomb expecting him to be there. So we have gotten right in face of the truth and the way and the light. We say Jesus is the truth, the way, and the light. They were right there, up close, and sealed it. So they go with their plan. They get up early in the morning. And the reason why that's important, because typically when we get up early in the morning for something, we have decided that was important. So we're so busy executing what we think is important and not listening to what God says is important. We're so busy preparing what we want to do. We're so busy holding on to the friends that we decide was so important, the job that we decided we wanted, the school that we decided we wanted to go to, the house that we want to buy. But what did God say? What did God say? So they got up early in the morning, got their spices, and I got my spices out because when they put spices together, it's really spices and ointment together. It's like a combination. And so I began to study what was in this anointed ointment, this spices that they just felt was so relevant to give to Jesus. Well, back in that day, they have to prepare your body. Just like they embalm it now, they have to prepare your body and wrap you in linens before you pass away. And if you've been hung or something like that, they like to do it right away. And it was a custom. Now keep in mind, he had already been anointed. He had already been anointed. And he had already had all of this taking place. But we feel like we got to get in the middle of our situation. See, God already had taken care of all of that. But because we wasn't wind of it, because he didn't tell us all about it, we feel like we got to do something. Because he didn't send him the email, so you know what I did that the other day when he was over so-and-so house. I already anointed him. Everybody thought the lady was crazy. But he even said it. She's prepared me. But we're not listening. The things that you don't know about your next move is because God don't want you to know. He said, remember what he said. But he did tell them that I would die and raise and be rose 3 days later. That I would die and in 3 days I will rise again. So we have to remember what he did say. But even when he spoke, they didn't believe. They did not believe. So on the way there, they're like, man, how are we going to get this tomb moved? So we create problems in our own life because we're doing our own thing. It's big. How we gonna get it moved? What's gonna happen? Oh, I do it all the time. Well, if I do this, then how is this gonna happen? Because see, once we get in our own way, then our mind gets to going, and we thinking about A and B and C, and I'm just intellectual. No, you just off the rails. You're just not listening to the Holy Ghost. I say I'm just a thinker. No. I just want to do me. See, the thing about our relationship with God is this. It's spirit to spirit. So a lot of things will be illogical. And when we reduce God to our intellect, we off the rails. God is too big for you to completely comprehend. So just forget about it. It was illogical. That's why they didn't believe. I was like, this is not making no sense. I'm not going to listen to what he's talking about. It doesn't make any sense. We saw him get beat. We saw them drag him. We saw him do all these things. We know that he's dead. So what we're going to do is we're going to get up and honor him. And some theologians were like, well, were they going to anoint him to finish up the burial process, or were they going to honor him? It doesn't matter. Either way, it was already taken care of. They had no business being there. If they really believed. I would like to think they were going to honor him because they were so shocked when they saw him not there. And you know a mother's heart. You know how we are. We're like, oh, they felt some type of way because Jesus was dead. But my thing is, it doesn't matter why you're doing what you're doing. My thing to you is, what did he say? Remember what he said. So I'm thinking about, I'm going and looking at these different oils. And, when Jesus was born, they brought gold, they brought frankincense, and they brought myrrh. And so I knew what myrrh smelled like, but I hadn't gotten my hands on frankincense. So I said, I'm going to get my hands on some. So I went and I found some. And the lady at the store, she tried to get me to buy one that was mixed with something else. She said, oh, this is much cheaper. This has frankincense in it, but it's not pure. This is 4 times more. You're getting half of what you would get in this and paying 4 times more. I said, but the difference between this and that is this is 100%. This is pure. I said, I don't want no mixed up stuff. And see, this is what we have to understand. If we're going to serve God, we must decide to serve him purely. Why mix up your serving with God with other stuff? It makes you ineffective. I said, ma'am, why would I want to get 20% frankincense? I said, no, when they brought it to Jesus, it was pure. Now keep in mind, they didn't have the tools to reduce it down to a pure oil like this, because frankincense and myrrh is basically something that comes out of a tree bark. And so it was more like little marbles, that they kind of put together. So it looked differently. But the bottom line is the purity of it, the rarity of it. And so my question to you is, how much are you contaminating your spirit? We want God to give us 100, but we want to give him 20 and 30. And I thought to myself, see, when I put this frankincense and this myrrh and this blessed oil, everybody don't want it. See, everybody don't want it because she prayed over it and it got the most elite oils in it and it's pure and it's holy and it's sanctified. So we want what we don't want to give. Oh, shit. And I was walking out the store and the Holy Ghost said, it's going to cost you something to stay pure. I said, oh, Jesus. He said, it's going to cost you something to stay pure. So if you're a pastor, hear what I'm telling you. If God is telling me that it's going to cost me something to stay pure, and I must stay pure for the unadulterated word of God to be of any effect. Because when I speak a thing, it shall be established if I'm pure. Not only is God requiring me to stay pure, you all are requiring. You're depending on me to stay pure. Who's depending on you? Who you praying for? You ain't got no power. Who you praying for? You got 20% of this and 20% of that. Go sit down. I don't even know how to do it. Show me, God. Show me how to be holy. Show me. Hallelujah. I began to cry out right in my car on the parking lot. Show me. I shot that at almost stop. Show me, God. I do not know the way. Hallelujah. Yes, God. Whatever you say. Show me, God. Show me, God. Show me, God. Do I want to go that way? I don't know, because I don't know what it's going to cost me. But I'm willing to go. Because when I call upon his name, I want him to hear me. And more so when he speaks. Like he told them that I will rise in 3 days. I don't want to go looking for him somewhere he's not. And he's already given me the heads up. I don't want to waste my time thinking about something and praying about something that he's already told me. I don't want to waste my time. See, we do a lot of stuff that are time stealers because we can't hear. We don't believe what we do hear. And they said among themselves, who will roll away the stone from the door of the tomb for us? But when they looked up, they saw that the stone had been rolled away, for it was very large. And entering the tomb, they saw a young man clothed in a long white robe, sitting on the right side, and they were alarmed. How many of you have ever seen an angel? Anybody? Oh, it's possible. If you get in position. Sometimes we need an encounter. Because what our life has dealt us is so difficult that we really, really need an encounter. It's not so much that you don't believe what I'm saying, but you need it for yourself. Sometimes you just can't go off what somebody else is telling you. It's just too much pain. It's no disrespect to me and nobody else, but you just got to know that you know for yourself. Because honestly, until you know that you know for yourself, you won't be able to hold on to it anyway. And so, when they saw that angel, they were startled. And I remember my grandmother telling me that the angels came for her. I remember her telling me, she said, they came for her. It was two of them. And they asked me, are you ready to go? And she said, I said, no, I'm not going to go right now. I'm going to stay a little bit longer. I thought, what an honor. What an honor. But she told me to my face, but when they come back for me, I'm going to go. So what she was telling me is, I'm going to be here a little bit longer, but you better get yourself together, because when they come back for me. So there wasn't no need for me to be crying when she went to glory, because she had already told me. As when my mother got to the nursing home, the presence of the Lord was so heavy in the room, the nurses, aides and stuff, they could barely go in there. She said they would just come and stand. They was arrested by the power of God. The angels were there. The glory was there. And when my mom began to tell me, I said, oh yeah, that's what it was. They came back like, okay, Essie Lee, we back for you. Let's roll. See, a lot of things that happen in our life, God will tell us if we have an ear to hear. Yes. Everything don't have to be by surprise. Everything ain't got to be no shocker. Everything ain't got to wipe us out and take us out. I know we have surprises, but I believe we have a few more because we're not listening. God loves us too much to just throw us off guard all the time. Come on. We are his children. We are the salt of the earth. We are the head and not the tail. I would hate to believe that he would be trying to throw us off all the time. Jesus. Alongside the robe sitting on the right side, they were alarmed. There was a man sitting there. But he said to them, do not be alarmed. You seek Jesus of Nazareth, who was crucified. He is risen. He is not here. See the place where they laid him. Now I thought about this. I said, God, sometimes we need an angel to come and tell us something. We need an angel to come and reveal to us the things that we missed, bring clarity to our lives and understanding to our lives. And he comforted them and told them, do not be afraid. And this is how you know if God is speaking, because the same thing will be said to you by another. The angel said the same thing Jesus has said. He is risen. Yeah. See, Jesus is not going to change. God is not going to change. He said, I change not. So when you keep hearing the same thing over and over, I believe believe that may be God speaking to you. The angel had just met them. He didn't know them from nobody. He said the same thing that Jesus had already told them. He is risen. And so they were so shocked and startled. And I thought to myself, was this lack of faith? Lack of love? What was going on with them? And then I realized we can love somebody and don't necessarily believe them. So just because you don't believe what you hear doesn't mean you don't love God. Because you can love God and not believe what he said. You can love him. You can have an endearment towards God because love is a strong emotion towards a person, an affinity towards something. So you can truly love God. People say, I love God, Pastor Cal. But my thing is, do you believe what he said? Because if you don't believe what he said, you can't walk it out. And so we're stuck in love, but missing belief. We're missing faith. Because I don't believe that we would say we love God if we didn't love him. But loving God and believing God is not the same thing. We have to believe what he said. And the only way that we can believe what he said is to focus on what he said and meditate on what he said and tune out the other things that's coming up against what he said. Because the enemy tries to come uproot the very thing that God has spoken to you. He told you your marriage is going to get better, and then you and your husband have an argument. You're like, oh, it ain't going to never work. The devil is a lie. God has spoken. Yeah. We have to drain out the noise. And we have to ask God to help our unbelief. God, I love you, but I want to believe what you say. I want to hold on fast unto your word. I want to honor you with everything within me. I want to be pure. I want my offering and my worship to be pure, just like the myrrh, just like the frankincense, just like the gold. When they came, they weren't going to give baby Jesus no anything, and we're not either. We're not built for that. We're excellent people. We're not built to do anything. We're built to be influential people in a dark world. Keep in mind, this is not perfection. This is not about perfection. This is about a purity. See, it's the difference between being pure and being perfect. We're so busy trying to be perfect because we're thinking about what somebody else thinking about us. But we can't be worried about what somebody's thinking about. We have to deal with what we know about us. It doesn't matter what they think if it's not true. Whether it's good or bad. I'm not saying what other people think of you is just completely irrelevant. But what I am saying to you, what is true about you? You know you more than anything. When you open up your mouth and give God some praise, you want it to be pure. You want it to be holy. You want to have your ears unclogged so that you can hear, not only hear, but remember what he said. So God told me to put all our oils and all our ointments, put them away. Put your plan away. Put it away. We have plan A, we have plan B, we have plan C. And see, this is the thing. We learn these things throughout life. I do courses on goals and all this other stuff. But here's the thing. We have to separate our natural man from our spiritual man. Yeah. Pastor Rob, let me get that bag. We have to separate it. And the natural man has to have a plan. But the natural man can't rule the spirit man. Yeah. See, that's where we go wrong. Our natural man is so powerful that it covers everything that we do. Wow. But at the end of the day, God is work. We have to worship him in spirit and in truth, spirit to spirit. And I believe at this time what God was telling me that he wants more of me, meaning that he wants me to be led by the spirit even the more. What that means is I shouldn't be up at night 3 o'clock in the morning worried about my children. Because he already told me that they were covered. That means I'm letting my natural man rule and I'm not letting my spirit man rule. I shouldn't be worried half as much as I'm worried. He needs more of me to serve him. See, when we get anxious, sometimes we really don't know. And then we have to go back to the Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and say, you know what? I may not know, but I know the position that I'm going to take. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when he's already spoke. But yet, we don't believe. So we got to put our plans away. And I thought about the different ointments. And you know, myrrh is considered an ointment for like healing and different things of that nature. So I'm going to put some myrrh in the oil. I'm going to put some frankincense in the oil. That symbols our priestly anointing. I'm going to put some olive oil in the oil because that's pure. We have to know, for those that will get it, you have to know what you're getting. And I ask you, all the labor that's going to go into this and all the time and the money, don't take it if you don't need it. Because there's going to be a time where somebody got to lay hands on somebody for them to be healed and delivered. See, grandmother tell you already prepared. I ain't got to keep preparing the oil for you. You have everything that you need to prepare the same oil with the same anointing as I have. So it's your turn, but are you prepared? And the reason why I brought up the spices and I brought up the oil because we can identify what makes sense. Like, what's in it? Why did they take? What was such a big deal? What did Mary Magdalene? What did they have all in that ointment? Those spices. Why was it so important? It's because it was a purity in it, and each thing that was in it represented something. They put cumin in it, in anointing oil. Sometimes they call it spices, but it's really ointment and oil. They put cumin in it. They put cinnamon in it. They put oil in it. But keep in mind, it's only olive oil. That's why we can't mix up this, that, and the third. And it's not that you're better than anybody. But sometimes you can't tell everybody everything because now you're mixing up oils that don't belong together. You can't tell everybody what's on your heart because now you're mixing up this with that.
Come on, that's good. That's good.
We're not better than anybody, but you gotta know when to speak and when to be silent.
Yeah.
Just because you're having a problem don't mean everybody needs to know about it. You're not gonna mix this with that. Look how small this bottle is. 0.5 ounces of frankincense. Very expensive, which means we only need a little bit more of Jesus to make it work.
My God, help me.
We ain't got to have no whole lot. We can't even handle nothing but a little bit anyway.
That's right.
God ain't asked you to just be this superhero. He just wants just a little bit more of you. A little bit more of you. A little bit more of you will go a long way. 0.5 ounces of myrrh. I said, now Lord, my grandmother's on a fixed income. Who was buying all this stuff? Jesus. But just like the angels had rolled away the stone, God had made a way for her.
Yeah.
See, just when we start thinking about how we're going to do what we're going to do, he's already worked it out. I can see it now. Go get me some myrrh. Go get me some frankincense. I got to anoint them all. But he's already made a way for you. You thinking about how you're going to move the stone, and when you show up right, it would already be. When you show up right, it will already be. Because we have angels assigned to us. Just like those angels were assigned to Jesus, we have angels assigned to us. And we have to employ the angels to go before us. We have to employ the angels to be our rear guard. We have to employ the angels to lead and guide us and protect us. We have to employ the angels that have been assigned to us. So a little bit will go a long way when it's pure. So I challenge all of us. Put up your spices. Put up your oils. Put up your plan. Pack it away. Because he is risen. He's going to do exactly what he said. He doesn't need your plan B. Thank you, Jesus. Now all we got to do is ask God to strengthen us so that we can hold fast to the word that's already been spoken. Because sometimes God will speak to you, and then it's a long time before he'll speak again. You know, some people say God's speaking to them every day, giving them instructions every day, and this and that. Good for them. I don't hear God like that no every day. He gonna speak, and then he expect me to ride that out for a while. Now he may speak to me about somebody else every day, this person and that person, but I don't hear God about my personal life no every day. And to God be the glory that those that do. But when God speaks to us, we got to hold on to it. We got to put our oils away, put our spices away, put our plans away, because he's going to do exactly what he said. And we have to believe. As we stand, I want to just go over the definition of belief. What do you believe? Do you believe God going to make a way for you? Believe, accept as true. Feel sure. And that's what I said, God, I believe you, but sometimes I don't feel sure. Which means my faith is not as strong as it should be. Means my belief system is not as strong as it should be. Because when you believe, you should feel assured. Regardless of what you see, you should feel assured. So we're going to begin to change our language when we pray. God, give me a blessed assurance. Let me feel assured. Don't let my faith waver. Show me how to hold on to what you've already said, God. Let me remember what you said. Let me not have my ideologies. Let me not try to figure this out with my intellect, God. You're too big for me to figure out. Love, a deep affection, a fondness, an endearment. Trust, firm belief in the reliability, confidence, and credence, and assurance. See, belief and faith kind of go hand in hand. Feeling sure, having the confidence. We need some confidence that God is going to do exactly what he said. And I believe God is trying to speak to some of us, but we haven't been able to hear him because we got too much going on in here that he can't get through. So we got two type of people in here. People that need to clean out their funnel so that they can hear God. Because even if you know the voice of the Lord, it's times I go to Elder Jefferson and say, I'm so close to the situation. I don't know coming or going. I don't know if it's me, God, Pastor Rod. I don't know what's going on. I can't hear. My mind is too scattered about this situation. Pray that God settles my mind. And I'm going to pray that not that you just believe the prophet, but that God opens up your understanding. See, that God brings back to your remembrance what he said. That God restores your faith in your belief. Because you can't make it on my belief in my faith. God said he wants more of us. But just like the frankincense, I want you to think about those small bottles. See, a visual is very powerful. You only need a little bit more to make it work. He's not getting ready to upset your whole life. He's not getting ready to just tear your whole life up. He just wants you to surrender just a little bit more. Because when you do it in purity, it goes a long way. We don't need a lot of frankincense. We don't need a lot of myrrh. We don't need a lot of that type of oil to be in our blessed oil. Because it's so pure. It's so rare. So we have to realize the things that we're believing God for are going to be rare. Your neighbor going to be like, she crazy. That's why you can't tell them. What? You think God go? What? That ain't making no sense. Of course not. A lot of the things of God don't make no sense. When little kids ask me, well, why did God do this and why did God do that? I said, well, Why would God give this woman four girls and this woman 4 boys? I don't know. Why would God have one woman be barren and one woman be fruitful that don't even want to raise the kids? I don't know. So we got to understand we can't explain God. We can try, but we can't. He's unexplainable. I don't know. But we got to get comfortable with saying, I don't know, but I believe God. I don't know, but I believe God. Let's bow our heads. Father God, in the name of Jesus. God, help us put our spices away. Because you're going to do exactly what you said you were going to do. You're going to make a way out of no way. You are the God of our healing. You are the God of our restoration. You are the God of our next move. You are the God of everything that we need. It's in you, God. Regardless if it makes sense to our intellect, God. Let our spirit man overrule our natural man, God. Though our natural man has a place, don't let it rule us, God.